just want you to know that everything we tell you, almost everything we tell you is absolutely, almost absolutely true. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We're gonna tell a tall tale. Some you may find hard to conceive, but we hope you recognize in all tales a kernel of truth to believe. We're gonna tell you all about a lot of heroes, some who go way back in history. But now we're confessing, we will keep you guessing. Are they real? Are they real? Are they real or just a fantasy?
What are tall tales? A tall tale is an unbelievable story told as if it were real. The more unbelievable the story, the taller the tale. Like weather, people are always telling tall tales about the weather. Like last summer. Do you remember how wet it was?
How wet was it?
It was so wet, we had to take a boat to school instead of a bus. That's great.
We're gonna tell a lot of tall tales. Some you may find hard to conceive. Did you know that Johnny Appleseed was the skinniest man alive? How skinny was he? He was so skinny that when he turned sideways, he'd disappear. But we hope you recognize in all tales a kernel of truth to believe.
Did you know that Pico Bill was the fastest man alive?
How fast was he?
He was so fast to three people could see him. One to say, here he comes. One to say, here he is. And one to say, here he goes.
We're gonna tell you all about a lot of heroes, some who go way back in history. But now we're confessing, we will keep you guessing. Are they real? Are they real? Are they real or just a fantasy? Who will they got? And the heroes?
Same thing. The more people talked about heroes, the more incredible they became.
Were they real people?
Most of them were, but I'm not going to tell you which ones.
Then how will I know which ones were real? Google it! But now we're confessing, we will keep you guessing. Are they real? Are they real? Are they real? Well, just you wait and see. Just you wait and see. Do you know how to spot a hero? No. How? They're the ones who solve problems.
Thank goodness for heroes.
And one of America's biggest problems was way back in 1754.
We were starting out as a new country.
And one of our first heroes was getting born.
Oh boy, who was he?
He was a sheep.
Yeah! As we were saying, Molly Pitcher and the 13 colonies were born about the same time.
Molly Pitcher.
Pitcher! Molly Pitcher!
Molly Pitcher. What? It's a funny name.
My real name was Mary Ludwig, but my family called me Molly, and the soldiers nicknamed me Molly Pitcher.
Wait a minute. What soldiers?
Soldiers in the American Army.
I used to carry water to them as they marched by my home.
Molly, water please. Molly, bring your pitcher. Molly, water. Molly, the pitcher. Molly, pitcher. Molly Pitcher, that's what we'll call you.
And that's how I got my name.
Is that how you became a hero?
No, but we're getting to that part. I grew up and got married, and the 13 colonies grew up and became the United States of America.
I'll bet the King of England, King George, didn't like that.
He didn't, so in 1778 we had a little war with Great Britain to gain freedom, our independence.
The Revolutionary War.
That's right, now it was during the hottest time on record.
How hot was it?
It was so hot, chickens were laying hard-boiled eggs. Now that's hot.
What's that got to do with your story, Molly Pitcher?
Well, there was a little battle going on by my house.
Fire! Boom! Fire! Boom! Fire! Man, it's hot.
It was during the hottest part of the hottest day of the hottest. Was a maid who fought for freedom unafraid. She carried water, fired a gun, and won the praise of Washington. It's George.
I am very proud to present you with this Medal of Honor for your bravery and compassion. Molly Pitcher, you will go down in history as a hero, for my name isn't George, father of his country, Washington.
Young Molly Pitcher was a maid who was a maid who fought for freedom unafraid. She carried water, fired a gun, and washed the praise of Washington. She carried water, fired a gun, and won the praise of Washington. We're gonna tell all about our heroes.
The Revolutionary War made lots of heroes, like Patrick Henry and Paul Revere
And Ethan Allen.
And George Washington.
and John Paul Jones.
And Alfred Bulltop Stormalong.
Who?
Captain Alfred Bulltop Stormalong. I helped John Paul Jones start the Navy and win the Revolutionary War. After that, I built my own ship and named it the Courser, seeing as how I was a big man standing at 30 feet tall. It had to be a very big ship.
How big was it?
It was so big, it took 2 days to walk from the bow to the stern. It was tall, too.
How tall was it?
It was so tall, we had to hinge the masts to keep it from catching on the moon. One time, we were sailing through the English Channel carrying a cargo of soap.
Now, wait a minute. The English Channel is very narrow. If your boat was so big, how'd you get through without getting stuck?
I had the sailors rub the soap against the sides of the ship. It squeezed through, but it scraped up against the black cliffs of Dover.
Now, wait a minute. The cliffs of Dover are white, not black.
They're white now, but that's only because the soap rubbed off on them.
So that's why they're called the White Cliffs of Dover.
Oh, good grief.
We're gonna tell your family of heroes, the Crockett's of Tennessee. Born on a mountaintop in Tennessee, greenest state in the land of the free. Raised in the woods, so I knew every tree. Killed me a bear when I was only 3. That's Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. I learned that from my pa. He could turn a rainstorm into sunshine. And my mom, she could jump backwards over a fence when she was 85 years old. And my wife, now she was funny.
How funny was she?
Why, she was so funny she could laugh the bark right off a tree.
That's fun.
We were Rip Snorting family, all right. That's because we had a saying to live by.
What was it?
Be sure you're right, and then go ahead. Davy Crockett was a hero, living stories that we know. He won a place in history with his philosophy. Be sure you're right, and then go ahead. Be sure you're right, then do it. Get every fact before you ask, and then get right to it. Every member of his family was exceptionally handy, and they were heroes, everyone, because they got things done. Be sure you're right, and then go ahead. Be sure you're right, then do it. Get every fact before you ask, and then get right to it. When you have to solve a problem, here's a way to get the job done. You just remember Davy Crockett's line, and you'll come out just fine. Be sure you're right, and then go ahead. Be sure you're right, then do it. Get every fact before you ask, and then get right to it. Get to it! Well, when I grew up, I decided to run for Congress. That was when Andrew Jackson was president. But it wasn't until after Washington that I had my greatest adventure.
In 1835, there was a comet headed straight for the United States.
It was getting closer every day.
Congress made speeches against it.
But it kept coming.
They even passed laws against it.
But it kept coming.
Finally, they had a committee investigate it.
But it kept coming.
Time was running out.
So President Jackson asked Davy Crockett to stop it.
What did you do?
I climbed to the top of Cloud Mountain, and when the comet came close enough, I grabbed it by its tail, swung it around my head, and flung it in the other direction.
And saved the United States!
Just remember one thing. Be sure you're right, and then go ahead. Be sure you're right, and then go ahead. Be sure you're right, then do it. Get every fact before you ask, and then get right to it. Get to it.
Now the West was really starting to grow.
People were moving west, and the West was developing heroes of its own.
Heroes like Pico's Bill. I was born in 1845, the year Texas became a state. I was raised by a pack of coyotes, and I was so tough ain't no Broncos horse could throw me. Fact is, I only got throwed once my whole career as a cowboy. It was that time I was up Kansas way, and I decided to ride me a tornado. I waited for the biggest goddamn tornado you ever saw. It roared so loud it woke up the farmers way over in China. But I just grabbed that there tornado, threw it to the ground, jumped on its back, and rode it all the way down to Texas. It tied the rivers into knots and flattened the forest so bad they had to rename one place to State Plains. But I just rode along all calm-like, giving it an occasional jab with my spurs. That tornado decided it wasn't getting this cowboy off its back. No how. So it headed west to California and just rained itself out. Yes, sir, that tornado was big.
How big was it?
It was so big that when it rained itself out, it washed out the Grand Canyon. Yes, sir, that's how the Grand Canyon came to be. I'll tell ya, that tornado was down to practically nothing when I finally fell off. And I hit the ground hard.
How hard, Bill?
I hit the ground so hard it sunk below sea level. Folks call that spot Death Valley. Now you know, that's how rodeo got started. Except most cowboys stick to riding Broncos instead of tornadoes these days.
Boy, Pecos Bill sure was a great hero.
He was, but Johnny Appleseed was even greater.
Johnny Appleseed, what did he do?
What did I do? I planted apple trees. Now Chapman was this fellow's name, but they called me Appleseed, because I planted apple trees, a very noble deed.
Johnny Appleseed, he was quite a guy, a hero guaranteed as American as apple pie.
I never charged the folks a dime, I was far too free for that. I lived outdoors and cooked my meals right in my saucepan hat.
Johnny Appleseed, he was quite a guy, a hero guaranteed as American as apple pie.
I planted trees from coast to coast, wherever I would go. And then I gave them loving care so that every tree would grow.
Johnny Appleseed, he was quite a guy, a hero guaranteed as American as apple pie. La 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 as American as apple pie. La 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 as American as apple pie. After Pecos Bill made the Grand Canyon and invented the rodeo, Texas was really starting to grow.
New things came along, like the Pony Express, which was a much faster way to get mail to new settlers on the west.
The Pony Express was made up of men riding horses and carrying saddlebags across a 2,000-mile trail. It was kind of like a relay race to deliver mail.
I know a very famous woman who rode the Pony Express.
Really?
Yes, and her name is Calamity Jane. Some folks say she could ride horses before she could walk and do fancy sharpshooting before she could talk.
I sure hope to tell you I could. That is why I was not bothered very much about robbers when I rode the Pony Express between Deadwood and Custer, the most dangerous route in the hills. My reputation as a rider and quick shot was well known.
Well, then that name really fits you.
The truth is, I was not born with the name Calamity Jane. My real name is Martha Canary. But folks thought I was a bit homely, so they started calling me Jane, like Pauline Jane. But I changed all that. I used to be Pauline Jane, can you believe it? I used to be Pauline Jane. I used to be Pauline Jane. But now
John Henry Long and Lee. John Henry was a man who could beat the machine. With a whistle blew and the race began between the new steam drill and the steel driving man. John Henry was a man. John Henry Long and Lee. John Henry was a man who could beat the machine. We were neck and neck in the noonday sun, but I was smiling, I was having fun. John Henry was a man. John Henry Long and Lee. John Henry was a man who could beat the machine. Held ahead, he was gaining ground, and a cheer went up from the people all around. But the race went on for many an hour, and the steam drill ran on its top steam power. John Henry was a man. John Henry Long and Lee. John Henry was a man who could beat the machine. Now I was tired, you can see it in my face, but I couldn't slow down and I wouldn't slow my pace. John Henry was a man. John Henry Long and Lee. John Henry was a man who could beat the machine. The boss called time at the setting sun, and the word went out. John Henry won! Yes, he won! I knew it! John Henry was a man. John Henry Long and Lee. John Henry was a man who could beat the machine. We saved the best and don't go for last. We're gonna tell all about a lot of heroes. Paul Bunyan!
Now everyone knows I was born in Maine and I was the greatest lumberjack in the world.
How great were you, Paul?
I was so great I could cut down 100 trees at a time. I logged all the trees out of North Dakota.
That's a lot of trees.
That's a lot of trees.
That's a lot of trees.
I was so great I had a blue ox named Babe.
A blue ox? How'd she turn blue?
I'll tell ya. One winter day I was taking a walk in the snow. Why, it was cold.
How cold was it?
It was so cold that geese flew backwards. It was so cold that spoken words froze in midair before they could be heard. Folks had to wait till sunup to find out what people were talking about the night before. It was so cold the snow turned blue, and that's where I found my ox Babe in the blue snow. She stayed blue ever since.
I want to be a lumberjack.
I want a blue ox.
It takes a lot of tough to be a lumberjack.
I am tough.
Lumberjacks are tough, strong and unafraid. No matter what, we always persevere. Whether climbing trees or working on the ground, we do our job and nothing interfere. But we all get misty and tearful and we see the thick we all play some flapjacks. It's surely no riddle that hot off the griddle each man is a slave to flapjacks. Just give us a stack. Be sure there's no lack of those wonderful, wonderful, marvelous, marvelous cakes.
I can see them now, all covered in butter and maple syrup dripping down the sides.
Oh, I can't stand it! We will be true to there's nothing we won't do if we can just have some flapjacks. Flapjacks! Flapjacks!
Back to work, you guys.
Kidding me?
Lumberjacks are rough. We're scruffy lot. No one would ever call us gentlemen. We work and then we play with equal loyalty and never wonderful, marvelous, marvelous taste.
Plump juicy sausages with whipped cream and strawberries on top.
Oh, I can't stand it! We will be true to there's nothing we won't do if we can just have some flapjacks. We will be true to there's nothing we won't do if we can just have some flapjacks. Flapjacks! Give us some flapjacks! You've heard us tell a lot of tall tales. Some you may have found to conceive, but we hope you recognize in all tales a kernel of truth to believe. You've heard us tell about a lot of heroes, some who go way back in history. But now we're confessing, we sure kept you guessing. Were they real? Were they real? Were they real or just a fantasy?
It's too bad we don't have heroes anymore.
But we do. Don't you remember what we said in the beginning of the show? Something about heroes and solving problems.
That's right. As long as we have problems,
We'll always have heroes. Heroes come in every color, shape, and size. Some are big and brave, and some are very wise. They may be tall or short, or young or 83. But every hero you will find is just like you and me. Anyone can be a hero.
Just like Molly Pitcher.
Anyone can be a hero.
just like Davy Crockett.
Heroes are important because they make us proud. They're the kind of folks who stand out in a crowd. Now you may be surprised, the heroes that you see, but every hero you will find is just like you and me. Anyone can be a hero.
Like Johnny Appleseed.
Anyone can be a hero.
Henry.
Anyone can be a hero.
Just like Calamity Jane.
Anyone can be a hero.
Just like